So really, I would say that experience, was kind of interesting. I was like, I didn't expect to be single when I was in my 40s, but what I was learning at that time was I was learning how challenged and damaged the black community is, and not including me, right? And I sort of I noticed at that time, that's when I started noticing little things like three-quarters of all black women don't even have a father in the house, right? And I thought, well, what kind of person would I be if I had no mother in the house? If my and we act like it's no big deal, but I think it's a very big deal. If I had no mother, my mother just passed. That's devastating, right? If I had no mother growing up, I'd be a completely different person, right? Because my daddy's different from my mama. My mama is the nurturer. Imagine me with no nurturing at all. I'm already rough around the edges, but imagine if I never had any nurturing. And so, anyway, my point is to say that I think that there's just sort of this weird imbalance, and I think that also relationships are something that does require some degree of training, right? You can't just wing it. That's one thing I know for sure is that building an institution of any type, whether you're talking about a business, a family, or anything else, or a house, it's hard to do it if you're just sort of guessing along the way, right? If I say I'm gonna go build me a corporate office, I'm gonna go build a building in downtown Chicago, but I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. I have nobody in my family that's ever done it. I know nothing about construction. Am I gonna be successful? Yes or no? Am I gonna be able to easily figure it out? What do y'all think? No, I'm not. I can't do that. It's impossible, right? Or pretty much not I don't want to say impossible, but very difficult. I'd probably fail. So I think that when you're talking about building an institution like a family, and I think about my mother and father making it through 50 years of marriage, they had to have some type of guideline. And I know that for my father, his guideline was his parents. His parents were married 70 years. And so that kind of created like a sort of rigidity in the thinking or a specific way of approaching relationships where even though he was a very good looking man and he had those Michael Ealy eyes and all the girls were chasing him, he said, no, that's nice and that's fun for me while I'm a kid, but that's not something I want to grow old with. I don't want to be 55 years old still living the lifestyle of a 25-year-old or a 20-year-old. And that shaped his values. If he'd had a father who was a Rolling Stone, who never got married or maybe got divorced and lived the single life forever, or a mother that had no man around, he might have said, I'm going to go a different direction because this lady she has a kid. I was the kid, and why in the hell would I want to be dumb enough to take care of some other guy's kid? Like some people think like that too, right? So his upbringing shaped his value system. So really, generally speaking, when you're talking about building any kind of institution, again, whether it's family or economic, if you don't have the background, like if you're trying to be an entrepreneur and you have no entrepreneurs in your family, you got to get some entrepreneurs in your family, if you know what I mean. You got to go find some people who think like you do because entrepreneurs have to take risks. Entrepreneurs have a lot of ups and downs. Entrepreneurs have to find a way to make a way. Entrepreneurs have to have a certain type of resilience that regular people don't have. So if you're trying to do that in your first generation, well, get around some other people that can really give you a culture that's going to match your objective. Do you follow me? Same thing would be true just generally if you're a wealth builder. I mean, think about this. In fact, let me ask y'all, let's do this experiment. How many of you have families that don't build shit? I don't mean to cuss on a Saturday, but I just did. How many of y'all got families that can't build a damn thing, ain't saved nothing, can't invest nothing, don't know what a stock is?